Hey y'all, welcome back to Neon's Mid Reviews. I'm Neon, this is my review channel, it's my buddy Nate.
What's up?
And today we are talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, almost said Snowman, episode 1.
Or the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Is it Winter Soldier or the Winter Soldier?
I don't think it's the.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I don't think he cares.
Probably just doesn't want to be called that, regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
Bucky. I'm Bucky.
Right. But first impressions, non-spoilers. I would say it's a good first impression. But doesn't give me much to build off of for what the series is as a whole. But all in all, worth checking out. I had a good time.
I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I asked you earlier, did you feel like you were more excited, less excited, or kind of opinion unchanged?
Yeah.
And you said pretty much opinion unchanged, especially as far as expectations, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I would say relatively the same. You know, I'm not gonna watch the next episode. I'm not chomping at the bit quite like I was with WandaVision.
Right.
But I also, my comic book knowledge of these two characters is far less, so my wheels aren't spinning like they were, you know, with WandaVision.
Right.
So that also, and from what we've seen in the trailers and then what was seen in this first episode, I feel like I'm getting what I thought I was going to be getting.
Mm-hmm. For me, my favorite entries in the Marvel movies have always been the more spy or political stuff, which kind of just has a certain feel to the action and kind of to everything with like Winter Soldier, Civil War, even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that kind of get into it. And it seems like Black Widow is hopefully going to be along those lines. And this is very much in that same vein. It feels a lot more like Winter Soldier, though, than Civil War. But I think that's about it for non-spoilers. But yeah, highly recommend it. But yeah, get into spoilers. There's a couple things in it that I really, really enjoyed. Like, I love all the stuff with Bucky that they did. Like the flashback was really nice, and then I liked the
therapist.
Well, not even that, but just the relationship with the old man and setting up the date.
What are you doing?
I'm reading your mind.
And then the reveal of who that old man is, and yeah, and yes, with the therapist, but just Bucky is a very, very interesting character. I do feel though that Falcon is an interesting character too. He has not been nearly developed enough to be a leading man that makes me interested in him. And it seems like they're doing some legwork to try to, like, hey, here's his family. Hey, here's more stuff about him to kind of get you interested. Bucky, they're just kind of like, we've been teasing we've been playing with his story for what, across 4 films now.
Well, not only that, but we saw Tony's family. We know that Bucky and Cap are pretty much each other's only family.
Mm-hmm.
We know Natasha didn't have anybody, but she had Hawkeye as a best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had love interests, short crush, whatever was going on there with Cap, and then whatever happened with her and Banner.
Right.
So I mean, like we get to see Hawkeye's family. We get to see everybody's pretty much extended family Peter Quill's family, Gamora's family. We saw a flashback of Gamora back on her planet. I mean, like, so yeah. I mean, he was kind of the odd man out who hadn't been fleshed out a lot.
I'd say him and Rhodey are the two big ones that stand out. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but it's an interesting point that the two characters played by people of color are the two ones that haven't been fleshed out. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. Because I had never thought about it until that exact moment.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it's necessarily a race thing. It's
but
just
anyway,
those characters are...
Like I said, I'm not saying anything. I hadn't thought about it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway. So... I didn't mind, you know, seeing the family stuff there. I didn't mind the backstory. I kind of saw it coming that, you know, they weren't going to get that loan because that had to be his lesson of you don't quite live in the real world. Mm-hmm. Maybe you did at some point. If you've been doing this Avengers thing for a while, you know. You thought you were going to show up at the bank and just, you know, hi, I'm an Avenger, and they were going to give us a loan? Like,
it did raise an interesting question because he would have been with them since, what, 2014? When Winter Soldier happened? It's kind of when he joined up with them. Mm-hmm. So, how long has he been going unpaid doing the Avengers? Like... Yes, I imagine Tony...
I brought that up in the WandaVision thing. Like, maybe that's why she's got that shitty rental car.
Yeah.
Like, but you would think that Stark's got them on some kind of payroll. He says, no, I'm just the financier.
Yeah.
I just pay for this and this and this and this and this. Come on, he wasn't giving them some kinds of salaries.
Apparently, not much.
Yeah. He was like, we depend on goodwill. Like, wait, what? That's kind of shitty. Tony Stark was your leader and best friend.
Yeah,
and you're dependent on goodwill.
And
what?
Cap came from a military background. Like, sure, like you still get paid.
And they even talk about that's even mentioned. I think in I don't think it was at the end of Captain America: First Avenger. But they mentioned at some point where he talks about, I did all right. They gave me back pay. Mm-hmm. Like, technically, I'm still in the military.
Yeah.
Like, they released me because technically my term of enlistment, but since I went under, so, I mean, that had to be something, especially if they adjusted for inflation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if they didn't, that's really shitty.
Right, we're gonna pay you your World War II wage because that's what you would have been making this whole time. We're gonna assume you never got a promotion and there was never a cost of living adjustment. That comes out to $1.25 a month times
You'd still make maybe $100, but
couple $100. Thank you for your service. Just a couple $100. Thank you, Captain America. No, but I think that. Yeah, it was kind of, but it was interesting to see that aspect. But I mean, no question there. You were talking about the tone difference. We immediately jump into an action sequence.
Oh yes. So yeah, the series, it starts off with a really fun action sequence for the opening scene with Falcon chasing after Batroc, the Leaper. Yeah, and all of the scenes with him was a lot of fun. It kind of reminded me of the Bane hostage
airplane
chase. No, the Wall Street one, the one that you have an issue with, but more of the motorcycle.
Why would I not have an issue with it? This Wall Street was raided today by terrorists. They stole some information. This happens that this billionaire lost all of his stocks,
right?
Which automatically makes him lose his home, and I mean he had no other money stashed anywhere else. I mean, like they shut the power out. Like, yeah, serious problems.
It's very problematic, but more of that type of chase.
I did still kind of get a point. My feeling of that scene was it was Point Break meets Independence Day flying through the canyons meets Dark Knight when Bane's, is that his?
Yeah. Or Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises. Like, yeah, let's take these three elements and push them together.
Throw terminal velocity in there, and absolutely.
There you go. I was thinking Point Break, like when they jump out without, Johnny Utah's got to jump out without the parachute.
Oh yeah, yes, okay, yeah. But yeah, no, really good start, and then
even my 8-year-old picked up on the fact that it was fucked up that she knows that those squirrel suits only go down, and there's a couple times when you see them like fly up, like nope, those things only go down. It's just a controlled fall,
right?
Like you can't be zipping. They would not have outran Falcon,
right? You need something to lift you back up,
right? How to Train Your Dragon actually got into that. Well, they didn't show that here, but anyway. It's a sorry, book. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I apologize.
They're Hydra or whatever. They've got secret jets in there. Who whatever. Right. It's a comic book. Anything goes. But yeah, I really enjoyed that, and then it kind of felt like all right, here, this was a lot of fun, and here's the rest of the episode. It's just dour sadness and drama, and it was just kind of like, okay. Some of this I'm cool with, but I hope this is not what the whole series is. Like, I'm enjoying the more dramatic looks at these characters, but I'm as weird as this is for me to say, I want a fucking superhero spy action show. Like, that's what this is supposed to be. Like, I understand you're kind of setting the stages where these characters are at emotionally before they team back up, but get them teamed back up. Get some action. I feel the episode was well paced, but it just, I don't know, something was off, and that might have been also because there was no real like building to the overall plot, or at least not yet. That I'm aware of, but you brought that up for a reason.
Well, the plane hijacking?
Or no, just the change in tone.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that this episode probably could have started with him and that soldier in the market. And I would have been fine with it. I'm not going to question why are they where they are. It doesn't matter. I would have been fine with it starting right there. I agree with you. I kind of felt like that starting tone, because I said I had a certain idea of what I think I'm going to get out of the series. We're going to get, I think, from the tone of the trailers, we're going to get a lethal weapon. We're getting this buddy cop thing. If that's not what we're getting, I'm not going to be disappointed. I don't care.
Right.
But that's what I think I'm getting. So I saw everything after, or from that point through the end of it, to be kind of to compare. If you're going to compare it to Lethal Weapon, it's the beginning where Mel Gibson's. You can tell he's distraught about something, and he's looking at the gun, and you don't need to know why.
Right.
That was Bucky's thing. You could see Murdoch and how his morning's going with the family, and that's what we're seeing with our Falcon character.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm okay with that lead up. But that very first part did seem to be a little weird. And the one major... I know you don't like it when people go, well, it's a kid's thing, and so likewise, I kind of don't like that. Well, it's a comic book thing. You still got to make some kind of sense.
No, yeah.
And there's one thing that happened in that sequence that's never addressed. So, Falcon shows up.
In the opening chase? Okay.
Falcon shows up. He comes in. Throws his wings up. All kinds of stuff happens. One of those things that happens is the pilot gets shot. And the pilot gets killed.
Right.
The pilot that was already there was killed by them. That pilot gets killed. The autopilot they show comes on. Autopilot corrects. Okay? It will correct it. Autopilots don't land your plane.
Right.
Falcon flies off the plane. Everybody else has jumped off the plane. No one returns to the plane.
Well, didn't he chase after them?
That's what I'm saying. Everybody jumped out. Falcon went out after them.
Right.
Which leaves 2 dead people in the cockpit. The plane's on autopilot. Fine. It's not going to... It'll go until it runs out of gas.
I think it's going to crash.
But that was never a... What did they do with that plane?
Probably, yeah.
And I was like, wait, you're not showing me something, and I know I'm being nitpicky about it, but it was and literally, like I'm saying, it's the only thing that I was just like, ooh, I really didn't like this. Why? And don't give me some, you know, yeah, I don't care if you're the writer and you're just like, well, come on, you don't need to see everything. Like, that's a threat. That's now a threat that your hero just created by. You're not going to show me. Oh, and then he flies back up. How do I land this thing? I know how to fly these. I don't know how to fly this. If you're going to show me some action, you could have cut out everything in between all that chase and given me. They got away at first with the thing. He's got to figure out how to land this, and maybe go back up after. I don't care, but I mean, it just. Well, I want to know what happened to the plane.
Right. Well,
it bothers me. It bothered me so much for the rest of the episode. I kept thinking, what happened to the plane?
I would be curious because it was what was the border they were on? Libya.
Yeah.
I would be curious if it was heading in that same direction, and
fine. You want to tell me that one was shot down? If you know what, if there's somebody out there that they saw. And, you know, something on the background, something plane shot down over Libya. Right. Fine, tell me. Please. Yeah. Please. If there's some weird Easter egg about it, please. But what happened to that plane? Why wasn't that ever addressed?
That would be cool. Or if it crashed and it caused some damage and that's addressed. That would be also cool. Right.
But you gotta show me something.
Right.
That bothered me. But everything else in the episode, I liked. I said I'm not more or less excited. I'm happy for this series. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I didn't lose any excitement.
No.
That one, this little thing. I understand I'm being nitpicky, but it still bothered me. But
that's fair.
But everything else I liked.
Yeah.
You know, the reveal, U.S. agent.
Join me in welcoming your new Captain America.
At the end,
yeah,
taking over. I was kind of. I mean, I knew it was coming. We kind of knew that theme was going to show up.
Oh yeah,
but I was still like mad for Anthony Mackie. Like, motherfuckers! I was mad. I knew it was coming, but I was still just like, those dirty bitch. This is how you found out with a press conference,
right?
They got you to give up the shield under the pretense that it was going to the Smithsonian and not...
And your sister had to, like, come in and be like, are you seeing this?
Right.
Like...
If they were like, give us the shield, we're going to give it to somebody else, and had that conversation with him man-to-man...
That would have been one thing.
That would have been one thing. I was just like, oh, they fucking did him dirty, and I'm mad for him right now. I don't even know that I would... Which of those two I support... I guess being a Captain America character more.
Bucky or Falcon?
Yeah. I mean, between the two of them, if you ask me, I'm going to be like, you know what? Bucky's older, and he's got... And that gives him seniority.
He's actually a super soldier?
Yeah. But Bucky...
Bucky didn't murder people.
Yeah. Yeah. Falcon hasn't just straight up murdered tons of people. On purpose. So I think I'll have to go with Falcon on this one.
Yeah, that's the PC PC choice for the.
Just for straight up promotion. I don't. Color does not.
I'm not even talking on that or anything. I'm just talking on former Russian terrorist assassin as now our Captain America. That's problematic.
It's a PR nightmare waiting to happen.
You can do it in the comics. That's one thing because it also dealt strongly with the issues of it. But you can't do that on the big screen.
No. And I guess you told me maybe a couple other things that I'd seen him in, but that's...
Oh, yeah, it's Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell's son.
Because I thought I only knew him from the Black Mirror episode.
Right. He's in that, and he's also in Overlord. That's where I know him from. But, yeah, I'm curious to see. Hopefully we get...
The costume design was much different than Steve Rogers' cap.
I like the stripes, the helmet.
The no shield.
Yeah, the helmet feels off. But the... I get a feeling, and I'm curious to see how far they're going to go with this, but I feel like he's going to be Marvel's Homelander type of a character. Because I know U.S. Agent is not a good character or good guy in the comics. I don't know how far they'll go with him. I'm not too familiar with him from the comics either, but
I doubt they're going to go quite as far as Homelander.
No, yeah.
If the end of the season ends with him rubbing one out on the top of the building, I'm going to be like, wow. Disney went there.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus. That's...
I'd be impressed.
I'm impressed. Sure, a little concerned, but yeah, I can totally see that though. That he's the it's all right if you kill them, you know, like, and not in a Punisher type way, not in a they're scum, they need to die more. It's almost having a good time with it. Yeah,
and he's not going to question the orders he's given. You know, if they send him in there to kill. He's gonna kill, even if they surrender. And so, like, I get that they're gonna start exploring that, and we're gonna deal with the image being kind of destroyed to the public, and then the redemption arc of the image of Captain America. So I'm curious. I do want to talk though about that Bucky fight scene in the flashback.
It comes through the wall.
Yeah. It reminded me a lot of the warehouse fight from BVS. Structurally. And the way it was shot, they tried to keep it in wide shots, kind of showing the stuff. And even down with that you know, that last one that he walks up to and approaches, is kind of cowering. It really reminded me of that whole sequence, but I really enjoyed the Winter Soldier sequences, and I'm curious to see if he's actually going to tell the old man or not, or if the old man's going to pass before he tells him, or die because he's told him. Like I'm wondering how that's going to play out.
I'm fearful it will be the latter of those, and then he's gonna tell him he's gonna die because he's gonna have a heart attack in front of him.
Yeah,
I'm like, nah, come on, don't do this to me, Disney. Dirty Disney, always killing parents.
See, and at first I thought he was going to be the. I didn't realize that it was kind of his atonement thing. I thought it was like old war buddies or something like that he was hanging out with. So I figured it was the guy from like the first Avenger, who was part of his old unit, and then who is, I guess, now Peter's principal's great grandfather or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the same actor that they used, and they have a picture of the other character in his office. So it's just kind of like, oh, I guess that's, and he's got the same last name. I guess that's his grandson or something like that. Interesting, weird connections. Like
Tarantino-ish connection.
Yeah, does he not look at the Captain America running around and just like, huh, my grandfather like served with him? He's not weirded out by that. Like,
maybe Grandpa never talked about it.
that'd be a great Marvel movie, or just like the everyday person who has to live in that world with all the weird shit going on. Like they don't have superpowers; they just have to deal with shit. Kind of the J. Jonah Jameson approach. Just like, God damn it, fucking.
As if there were a season of The Real World,
Yes,
being filmed when the New York invasion happened. It turns Cloverfield. It's The Real World turns Cloverfield.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd be exciting, or the snap. And then just dealing with the destruction. But, I think that's going to about wrap this up. All in all, really enjoyed the episode, just not really sure where they're going with it. Flag Smasher. I do want to talk about them, yeah. What are your thoughts on Flag Smasher?
I have the benefit of already knowing what you're going to say, but I mean,
yes.
As I said this morning, like my first thought was that I didn't think that was anything to do with Zemo.
No.
But I didn't know if it was another Winter Soldier-ish type thing, because I assume that we're talking about the person who jumped out with the bag. And you had a different idea.
Yes. I just because of how they've showcased the characters in the marketing, I get the feeling that they're going to kind of give us a switcheroo with this character. They're in the beginning of the sequence. There's what looks like a girl who is handing out the masks initially, and then you have the larger what looks to be a male character that breaks out, who then starts fighting people and passes the bags off, who's pretty much taking most of the heat. And even while the other ones that now have the bags are running off in their own direction, seemingly without any issues. So I get the feeling that this is the muscle. Somebody else is actually behind everything. Kind of Bane, more Dark Knight Rises connections. Bane and Talia type relationship. And I don't have an issue with that. I just really hope they don't pull a Solo and turn them into like the Rebel Alliance, heroes or something like that again. Because I do get that kind of vibe from them. But yeah,
If they're gonna end up being somewhat of a good guy.
Yeah, I hope not. But I could see that happening as well.
Guess we'll see.
They're social justice warriors or something like that
Guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Guess I can go Stormfront.
But I think that's gonna wrap this up now. Actually, this time. But yeah, if you enjoyed this content, please give this video a like. Really helps out the channel. And
let us know what you thought about the video, or what you thought about the episode.
Yeah, definitely. And what kind of where you think the series is going. But yeah, definitely subscribe if you haven't already. But catch you next time, all.